gentlemen, perhaps we wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't said to ourselves, just go, 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 go for it.
It's absolutely pushing it, but look, Pokemotion Rider's coming through now. This is going to be nip and tuck on the line. Now to Clay's putting under pressure. I think he's going to do it. It's 2.2 kilometres to go. The game of chess is starting. Is it cat and mouse? There's a little bit of a trail off the back now. He could be losing a few riders. The puts the pressure on. He's riding at 39 kilometres an hour on plus 1% grade. Welcome back. I say welcome back. It's only a fortnight since the last one. Here we are on ZMS West London VR Race 5.1. The welcome back is because it's a brand new series. It's Series 5. 2 minutes to go. And I believe we have over 80 riders on the line. So all looking great. This is going to be a very fast race. As you can see on your screen at the moment, 16.1 kilometres, but only 19 metres of climbing. You will hardly notice the climbing. This is going to be fast. It's going to be furious. Let's see what the course looks like. So we come out of Windsor, we drop down into Datchet. Now we're following the River Thames there. You can see it weaving up the middle of your screen as we go through Old Windsor, back up along the Thames, along Runnymede. This is Runnymede here where that grass is. It's a historical place. It's got some significance, which we'll talk about. Over Staines Bridge and back on ourselves, following back the line of the River Thames to Wraysbury Village. That's it. It's almost deadpan flat, and this is going to be fast. So one of two things is going to happen, I predict, and that will be a possibility of a huge peloton, which will be a bit of a lottery at the end, or, and we've seen this in some of the recent races, some of the strong riders put some pressure on the front to try and thin that peloton down to reduce the risk of losing places in a bunch of sprints. So we might see, I think, one or two large pelotons or one very large one. That's my prediction. What could possibly go wrong? And let's have a look who's on the start line. We've got a strong influx from New Zealand with the clocks changing. You see a couple of New Zealand flags up there. Michael Tong and Stuart Lynch. They're running for NZ Bro. There's 2 teams from NZ Bro in the mix for this, so look out for them. They're pretty strong riders as well, so we're expecting big things from them. I see, looking at that short, Lockett, that's Ellen Lockett, sorry. She's riding for my team, so a slight little bias in there. You can see a few of the West London girls in the front row there, in the blue and white strips. Westerly guys in there as well. The purple strip in the middle is probably one of the Westerly riders, I'm sure. Slightly less Ukraine shirts than last time. I see some, I suspect that's, just having a look at some of the, got a few purple jerseys from the Westerly guys in there, and right at the back, one of my West London guys. So the red kits are probably team draft to look out for. There's about 20 teams in this altogether, so I'm just trying to pick out some colours for you. Moon, if you see the white shirts with the red writing, blue shorts, it's probably Pokemotion. There's 2 red, black, white and green. You see in the front row, there's the riders there. They're Moon Riders, the green, yellow, white. They're off. Now you have to pedal fast at the start of these, and we see who's at the first. That's a Ratio Racing strip right off the front. Mark Rowbottom, Rasmus Feldball next for ECKD, which is the Danish Cycling Union's e-racing team, and Mark putting on some pressure at the front down this one little slope that we get right at the beginning out of Windsor as we go past the castle, making the most of that, stringing the peloton out. Look how long that line is. There's people already dropped off the back as Mark puts on pressure. Rasmus Feldball now taking it up on the front. This is stretched, and this is what they will try and do. They will try and thin that peloton down to make the risk of a big bunch sprint left. Emma Lockett nicely in there, just hanging on alongside. I see a couple of other West London jerseys in there. A little trio of red draft, that's Tom Gates' team. Ned Bowen in that, so expect strong things from them. Ned, the ultimate sprinter. We see a couple of South District Wheelers jerseys in there, the distinctive red, yellow. Now Daniel Castro is out on the front at the moment for Spain. In Hepburn behind him. Carl Dickerson, one of the New Zealand NZ Pro team behind that. Then we have, who have got? Casper Pedersen, one of the ECKD guys. Now, this peloton has, you can all see out the back, some people have dropped off, and this is what happens. They'll probably ease up a little bit. 47 kph at the moment. This is going to be a fast race, so expect the speed to stay above 40 all the way home. People pushing out the watts on the front there, Hepburn at 4.3 watts. You see Casper Pedersen just behind. Harry Schmitz, unfortunately, one of the guys off there. He's in 59th position at the moment. We have 87 riders in the race at the moment. I see Mike Fish pull back there. Mario Silva, Mike Wareham for Moon Riders in 57th. Just picking out some names for you. Who else have we got there? Wendy Wonderwheels riding for Smile On. Or another New Zealander, just behind Mike Buckhurst, and Marcin Skrilarek from Moon Riders, 69th. Now that is not where I expect to see Marcin all the way back there. Now that is a little bit of a shock, and I wonder what's happened. I think something probably happened on the line, because I would expect him to be a little bit further up the field. But Wendy nicely tucked in with the Moon Riders rider there. It's Marcin Skrilarek, isn't it? So he's with Wendy Wonderwheels from Smile On, and there's a third rider in with them as well, which is, I'm just trying to read it, it's Mike Buckhurst, who's a Brit who lives in California. So Wendy got herself in a nice little group of 3. Now these two, particularly Marcin, will be particularly useful, and I think she could do well to stay with them. Being joined by Gilmore now, so that will brief that up a little bit. It looks like there's a big group behind, and this can amalgamate into one group. A nice little wave from one of my riders there as we switch screens. So I didn't quite catch which one it is. Now, so this is the main bunch. We're at the front. Stevenson for Westerly, just taking a little turn on the front. Nick's a strong rider, lives down in Bournemouth. Certainly I would never ever be able to keep up with Nick, and I hope he's keeping fit down there in the sunshine of Bournemouth. Daniel Kadir's pushing out off the front now, making a little bit of a break. Can he make this stick? Riding for the draft team there in that red. Now, Kader Alumi chasing on Pokemotion, I see, and one of the Western riders as well, Nick Stevenson. Nick likes to push out on the front. Somebody's just been dropped off this group here, and this is at the back. This is going to be, I'm just trying to work out. Oh no, this is a group amalgamating. Now what happens in a lot of these races, and this is Wendy Wonderwheel's group, isn't it? What happens is, and Cara Bono's in there as well, so Wendy and Cara are both riding for Smile On, and they can use each other, although I think their best bet is to stay in this group. I'm just trying to see who else is in this group. I see a couple of West London riders there. I wonder if any of our ladies. Can't quite tell. It all keeps moving too quickly for me to keep tabs. But this is what happens in these races. You do get something like where somebody gets dropped off of one pack, and another group will come along, and gradually it will swell into its own little peloton. Somebody's just struggling to stay on that group there. I see Samir Doshi is one of the guys in there. Well done, Samir. We rode last night in the Moon Riders race, so that's 2 nights running for Samir. He's allowed a little bit of a respite, and he can sit in the pack there, I think. Cara Bono and Wendy. Now then, was that a split in the main peloton? That's Tim Cummins for Westerly out the front there. He's just been taken over by Daniel Cadiz again for the draft team. Tim dropping back into the peloton there. Tim doing very well lately. He's got his fitness back after a little bit of a lull, and he's riding rather well, we have to say, along with Andrew Beale from Westerly. And you see some of the Pokemotion guys out the front here, and the red of draft fairly prominent as well. This is a Pokemotion. This is Kirsten Edge. Yes, I was going to say it's a Pokemotion shirt. Yeah, Christian Edge on the front. Daniel Castro again going out on the front. Got Webb up there, who's one of the New Zealand NZ Bro guys. We're expecting big things from NZ Bro, so we'll see what happens at the end. I mean, I think they're going to be stuck in this peloton. As we look at it, Daniel Castro on the front, Kader Illumi in there for Pokemotion as well. Somebody's off the front. It's Rasmus Feldball again for the Lisa Snell. And well done, Lisa. She's 82nd at the moment. And Lisa was I know Lisa quite well, actually. She was out riding with us on our club ride on Sunday, and she was not sure whether she should enter this or not, and I told her she should do. When I first started this over 2 years ago, Lisa used to come on all the little events I used to run, and she took a year off cycling, so she's getting her way back in. Well done, Lisa. It's great to see you riding for us on the back there. Fantastic. And as I say, you'll only get better. We know that you're coming back from not riding for a long time. Rasmus Feldball on the front again for the ECKD, which is the E-Cycling Club of Denmark, is what the initials stand for. It's quite a lot of the same people on the front, but on the NZ Bros it's Williams, and they've got an interesting biography that I was kindly sent by them, telling me about some of the background of some of their riders. And they're all sort of, either international rugby referees or Ironman champions and all sorts. Wouter Clay's off the front for Moon Riders. Now, Wouter Clay's and I have been in touch quite a lot recently, and thank you very much, Wouter, when you look at the replay. Thank you very much for supplying all the results classifications that we will be using for this series. Very kindly donated by Moon Riders and Wouter. Doug Hart on the front. Doug Hart and Pedlars. We haven't mentioned them yet. Kevin Unsworth's in there. Team Cameron. Team Cameron was named after his, I think his nephew or something was called Cameron. They just decided to call his team Cameron. This is thinning out. There's a few people dropping off the back, and this is what happens when you get this pressure. Matthias Bergqvist in there, the Swede, alongside Kader Illumi. Kevin Unsworth. This is a good race for Kevin. He's got a great sense of humour as Kevin, and it's he said to me once, I've won lucky race and haven't done it since. Maybe this is the next lucky one, Kevin. You stick in that front peloton. The pressure's still being put on the front. Look how strung out it's getting. You can tell the pressure's on when it gets strung out like this, and people will fall off the back. It's Rasmus Feldball and Daniel Castro putting on the pressure. Kader Illumi for Pokemotion chasing hard. Michael Tong with him. Kader Illumi back into fourth. And it's see Doug Hart's in there. It is Judith Newton at 59th. We see in there. Stuart Lynch 60. Harry Smits at 58, and we're looking at Cook now at 55, aren't we? And it's David Buckley at 53, one of the Westerly riders. Daniel Steinbach at 52. We expect Daniel to. There's Judith Newton. Got high hopes for her in the ladies' series. She's with Harry Smith and Dollymore, one of the New Zealand riders as well. So she's in very good company here. Way back in 59th, it's a little bit surprising, but this is a strong field, and I'm telling you, Stuart Lynch here, one of the NZ guys at 60. This is a strong field, and it has been strung out. Once you are dropped off and you are riding solo like this, Mike Fisherpool just catching up with him from France in the rather resplendent pink bright jersey, and he's going to go flying by. I don't think they're going to group together, are they? No, he's just flown by that. So running strong. Pete Dickerson in 23rd in the front group. That's fantastic. A little bit of bias there because he rides for me. So great to see you in there, Pete. Well done. And Doug Hart. So we see a couple of Ratio, the bright orange and black jerseys of Ratio up the front. This is Ivan Van Pers, Mark Rowbottom up there as well. I think Van Pers might be riding for Westerly tonight, actually. He's got a Ratio kit on. Doug Hart. So Westerly doing well. We've got Tim Cummins up there. I'm not sure if I think Ian Beale must be up there. Oh no, it's Nick Stevenson, isn't it? So they've got 3 riders in the top group. That's good for them. And quite a few. I see quite a few Percomotion riders, and one West London jersey there will be Pete Dickerson. So I think there might be 4 riders from Westerly in that front group. So that's really good showing from them. And I know that Andy and Tim have been working very, very hard on their racing. Rafa Nunes rode with the Moon Riders race with me last night, and he's riding solo. It's hard work when you're riding solo. Rafa and I actually did a 200k ride on Saturday as well, so he's got some miles in his legs. So allow him that. Well done, Rafa. Well done for being out there as well. 200k on. I don't know what he did Sunday, but he beat me in the race last night. He beat me in the Moon Riders race. So he's putting in some miles. As Mark Rowbottom goes off the front again. Just like Roger Hughes up there as well. I see, and Johan Olofsson in 4th place at the moment, riding for Sands. That's South Africa, New Zealand. Started by some South Africans who live in New Zealand. Johan, I have to say this, was the guy who basically devised our team competition. In the sense that he came to me and said, well, why don't you do a team competition? You should run something like this. And I took his basic idea and tweaked it a little bit, and that's what you've got. So Johan, very integral to this series, and that was some time ago, so we're glad to see him back. Riding from New Zealand, so the summer series suits him better. Wendy Wonderwheel's there. She's got a nice little group to tuck into. Wendy also from New Zealand, so I'd say there's quite a few New Zealanders in the race tonight, and the time works for them better than it does for Australia. As we see Samir Doshi along with Wendy as well there. The time zones work well for them in New Zealand for the summer series, more so than Australia, because I think the New Zealanders can get a race in before they go to work, whereas the Australians would have less flexibility, I think, in their work timings. I'm so surprised to see Marcin Skirek all the way back here, but nice having the race. Cara Bono, I should say, sorry, in this group too. They're running quite nicely, isn't they? It's a nice little tight bunch. I mean, if that was a time trial, you wouldn't be too upset about that, would you? It's not bad, is it? Danielle Gaunt, 78th. Well done, Danielle. She's one of our new riders, as you can see in the West London kit. Riding solo at the moment. She's 168. It's got yards on the screen. I tend to work in meters. So, and she's in no man's land because she's got 130 yards behind her and something 0.10 of a mile in front of her. Michael Tong now, one of the New Zealand riders with Rasmus Feldball lurching off the front. I don't think they're going to get away because I just don't think the peloton will let them. 6 kilometres to go. We're well over halfway. I don't think they'll let them go as such. But you never know, and we did see in the final race of Series 4 that the bunch was so busy watching each other with the GC in mind that a solo rider who wasn't competing for GC got off the front and nobody wanted to chase and got a brilliant solo victory. Whether or not he would have got that without that happening, I don't know, but he was a strong rider anyway and possibly would have won if they had chased. But at time he practiced the break on a certain part of the track every lap. It was an 11-lap race, and he kept getting caught, and he worked out that if he did it a bit earlier there wasn't room to get caught, and on the very last lap got it to perfection and got such a gap that I think everybody sort of decided that they A, wouldn't chase him, and B, they would all sort of look out for each other with the GC in mind. Danny Stain at 49. Pete Kennedy. Oh, great to have him back. One of the other Team Cameron riders. So, Team Cameron have gotten both out tonight. So that's fantastic. Mike Addy there. 51st. Mike's quite a strong rider, obviously been dropped by the peloton, and he's probably tiring a little bit because he's just been raced by. Now what he needs to do, and that's what he's done, he's got out of the saddle, he's got onto David Buckley's wheel and gone straight past David. David is also very important to the to all of this, because David has hitherto always supplied me with a scrape of the results and helped me compile the results on the evening after the race. So David Buckley, very important to that, riding for Westley. Rafa Nunez just in front of Mike Addy here, and as I say, Rafa was out doing 200k on Saturday. Oh, David Buckley's been dropped. That's a little bit sad, and he's been on good form recently. I was talking to him on the phone last week, I think, and he seemed in good shape from everything that was going on, but he's been dropped by this little group, which is unfortunate. If they fly by at the wrong moment and you just haven't got the legs at the right moment, once you're out solo again, it's hard work. The draft on RGT is quite important, and it's quite you know, as you do these races, you get the skills of getting onto the groups. So you see David Buckley there now. Pele, one of the NZ bros, is now off the front. Now this is Kevin. He founded the NZ Bro, and he was a first-class rugby referee. I told you there was a few rugby referees in this, and he's first. Ellen Lockett's in the top 20. That is absolutely fantastic, Ellen. I'm not overly surprised. It's funny enough, the 200k ride we did on Saturday, she came on with us as well, and she is absolutely phenomenal. And Opele went into Brugge. Now he's 235 watts, and that's the benefit of sitting in the peloton. And so it's quite a good place to be right now. See Ellen Lockett there, just next to one of the Pocomotion. She's next to Kayla Illumi. She's in good company. She is an immense rider, I have to tell you. And as I say, she did a 200k ride with us on Saturday, and is out here on the front. And I think she rode last night in a race on another platform. So she's doing really, really well. And we're looking at something like probably 30 something riders in this front group now. Doug Hart takes up the running for Peddlers, one of the other teams in here. We've got actually, if everybody turns up, there's 20 teams entered in this series. I suspect Pete Austin's in there as well. Great stuff, riding for OTR. Gordon Jackson as well. So OTR well represented in the front here too. So most of the major teams have got riders in this group. It is a select group, as we can see. Mark Robotham from Ratio Racing taking up the lead. Pete Austin in 5th, Gordon Jackson 24th. So OTR draft will have certainly several riders in there. Pocomotion definitely. So the top RGT teams have all got riders in here, and this is good to see. This is good to see. And club riders too. Some of the Westerly guys, and Ellen Lockett for my own team, West London, which is new. I mean, we've only just started the teams for this series, so it's all new for us. We're all just sort of picking it up, learning, getting it together, and building it. So it's just great to be part of it. Carl Dickerson going off the front for NZ Bro, who we are expecting big things from. Daniel Castro taking his turn on the top, and he's created a gap. Now we're down to 2.8 kilometres to go. If you can create a gap and nobody bothers chasing, you might just get away with it. My prediction would be you won't. Stefan Kruger up there as well for Sands. So this is we're getting into the business end of this now with 2.k to go. We've been over Staines Bridge and we're winding our way back up the Thames. Daniel Castro's got a little bit of a gap on them now, but I think at 2.8 the peloton is going to gear up for a sprint finish and not let that happen. So I think, you know, you have to question whether he's wasting energy going off the front. Kader Illumi chasing, Jan Linden from Pocomotion as well. 3 Pocomotion riders in the top 4 at the moment, and 4 in the top 5 at the moment, as we see Roger Hughes, Christian Edge, Kader Illumi, Jan Linden all up there, and Daniel Kadir's back in the pack now for the draft. And look at this little bunch here from from Pokemotion. Now, is there? I wouldn't be surprised if these guys are all on Discord having a conversation, because there's something coordinated going on here, isn't there? Pokemotion have gone for it, and they've gone to split the pack at 2 kilometres to go. I suspect it might just be coincidence, but something is going on here. I think the Pokemotion riders have got a tactic here, and people are going off the front. Pokemotion are not off the front. Leading it is Rasmus Fedbull, but it's John Sammet who finished third in the GC in the last series, who's on the chase. He's out in no man's land, but Kader Alumi's coming back, and Pokemotion are going to get it all back together. And this is thinning out that front group. Will this mean we don't get the big bunch sprint that we've had on this course before? Rasmus Feldball now, 1.4 kilometres to go, has eked out a 25-metre gap to the next rider. Is the peloton too strung out to work together to haul him back or not? Daniel Castro branching out. He's making up some ground, but I think Rasmus Feldball has got a lot of distance on them now. 1.2 kilometres to go. It's a long way to go, and it's going to take a lot out of you as we come up to the Flamme Rouge here, the red banner going across the road, which designates 1 kilometre to go. This is going to be hard to maintain, but the gap is actually quite big. Daniel Castro is the one that's chasing him down. Williams from NZ Bro and Doug Hart. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because the meters are vanishing, 800 meters to go, and there's something like 60 meters back to the main bunch. Christian Edge for Pokemotion giving the push now, and he needs to, because that little surge that they did probably set Rasmus off on this lurch. 600 meters to go, and the gap is sticking at around 80 meters with Daniel Castro catching Rasmus. So Daniel Castro could be the winner of this, and whoa, will he be caught? Yeah, Castro's going to catch Feldball. It rather depends how much this has taken out Castro. Doug Hart leading the chase back. It's only 60. They've made up 20 metres with 300 to go. This can be caught. Rasmus, maybe he's 47 kph. This is a big effort. It's a big effort, and he's holding off Castro. So, well, at the same time, we see the NZ Bro guide, Miles Askew up there for Moon Riders as well. They're going to make a catch. We're coming up to the finishing line. They're going to sneak through. Yes, Miles Askew nicks it on the line. What a surge. And that is the danger of going early. What a win. Miles Askew just taking it on the line. Poor old Rasmus, after all that effort, having to settle for second place. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Miles. Moon Riders, current champions, taking the first win, and for once that first win isn't Wouter Clays, who's back in fourth. Simons, another Belgian, was third. We'll come back and we'll have all the classifications shortly as we go back to this group with David Buckley. He's found himself in another group. I'm glad to see that. He's there with Judith Newton, and I'm trying to think who else have we got in this group. It's Rafa Nunes, I think. David Buckley going first. Now, Buckley has got a bit of a sprint on him, this lad. I've been the victim of that on several occasions when I first started these. Rafa Nunes just sitting with him on the wheel there, and we'll have to see if Faustino's going to get caught by Visser. Is he? Not quite. Whoa, that was Visser. Jan-Hendrik Visser actually was a late entry to the Sands team tonight. Absolutely hurling himself for Faustino there, but not quite doing it. It's Pete Kennedy for Team Cameron now, riding solo in 51st position. It is hard riding for solo. 36 kph is quite a respectable speed to do if you're not one of the front guys and you're riding solo. I'd be quite pleased with that. So well done, Pete. That's good going. He's got 300 metres to go. Behind him, Danny Stain from Sands, another South African from New Zealand. Harry Smits, who sounds like he ought to come from South Africa but comes from Netherlands. And of course there's good reason for that, because of course Afrikaans people are largely Dutch or German, aren't they? Roger Cook just behind Mike Addy back at 55th, Judith Newton in 56th. And I think this is, well done Pete, fantastic. Pete hasn't ridden for a while, used to ride in almost every race, and it's nice to have him back. Danny Stain, great to have you back too, Danny. We start looking at the listings and see who finished where in the top 20. So we have the top 20 on the chart there for you as we watch some of the other riders coming in. Stuart Lynch from NZ Pro coming up in. I can't read the number, but Stuart Lynch coming back. 350 metres to go. He's 60th. Sorry. So let's have a look at the lineups here. Miles Askew from Moon Riders with that fantastic nicking on the line and that surge from the peloton, taking the win away from Rasmus Fedball from the Cycling Club of Denmark. Lorenzo Simons, the Belgian, just beating fellow Belgian Wouter Claes and current champion of Series 4. Stuart Lynch finishes for NZ Pro. Tom Gates from the Netherlands, riding for Team Draft, getting their top position just ahead of Kader Alumi for Pocomotion. Thomas Williams, one of the NZ Pros. In fact, I think he must be the first NZ Pro. Just pipping Chicago man Ned Bowen, former champion and former runner-up in this West London series. We're getting a little bit of a surge from somebody in this little group, aren't we? There's a battle to this is a Fawcett just chasing Caruno. It's I think that's going to be too big a gap to make up. It's just 140 metres to go. So we go back to the listings. Rob Miller for 3R in 9th. 3R haven't entered a team, and they're welcome to if they want to. But I think they're about the only major team that aren't in this. Matthias Bergqvist from Sweden just beating Daniel Cadiz. And Daniel put up such a fight. I mean, to be swamped like that on the line and go from 2nd to 11th must be a very sad position. John Sammert, 3rd in Series 4, finishing 12th there. Jan Linden for Pocomotion, 2 Pocomotion riders together. Kader Alumi, the first Poco rider to get home, as we look at another bunch coming up to the finish. I think there's Mike Buckhurst in there. And yeah, it's Wendy Wonder Wheels in there as well, Samir Doshi, and I'm just trying to see who else is in that group. Cara Bono. So Wendy Wonder Wheels and Cara Bono, 74th and 76th, picking up points for the ladies team. Smile on there. Ian Hurst here and Colin Stewart. C Maisie, it says Coco Maisie. I just think it's a fantastic name. Colin Stewart from Scotland. They've just been overtaken by, it is J. Royd, isn't it? But I'd like that to be I. Royd, who was a reggae artist once. Let's go back to the listings. Daniel Cadiz at 11th, as you said. John Sammert, Jan Linden, Doug Hart for Pedlars, a very strong rider, has had some great finishes in these series. At 14th, Roger Hughes, another Pocomotion rider, pipping David Castro. Michael Tong from NZ Pro, just pushing out Christian Edge, who did so much on the front during the race. So we watch Coco Maisie soloing home on the screen. Kevin Unsworth, fantastic. Delighted for you, Kevin. They're back to form, up in 19th, Team Cameron. Kurt Norum Pedersen, one of the other Danish riders, I think, finishing 20th. So, Jay Roy is, trying to think, Justin Roy, isn't it? Justin Roy. He is... he's a top mountain biker, actually. He's had some very good results in mountain biking, so I'm sure he knows how to scarp a hill or two. Daniel Gaunt, 81st, fantastic, well done, Danielle. We've been talking on WhatsApp all evening. Great to have you along. This is her first, she's never done a race on RGT before, so it's her first time out, and delighted to see you coming home. Alongside a teammate just behind you is going to be Lisa Snell, who, as I say, has been off the bike for a long time. Is just coming back. Just behind Ian Hurst, one of the NZ guys, and I think that's about going to wrap it up. We'll see Lisa come home though, because I've known Lisa for years, so I can't shut the thing down. Well done, Danielle. Absolutely fantastic. Coming home. The kit looks lovely, by the way. And it's one rider to come is Lisa. But let's have a look at some of the standings while we wait for Lisa to come in. We go up to 31st. Simon Miller from South District Wheelers. Fantastic club. Look out for Friday Frenzy on every Friday on RGT. Simon running the series at the moment. It's superb. I thoroughly recommend it. I don't get a lot of time to ride it, and it starts before I get home from work, but I have ridden it, and it is absolutely superb and well attended. And it's on ZMS as well, so you can watch it. Ingmar van Beurs, it says Rassi on there. I've got a feeling he's riding for Westerly tonight. Grant Webb at 33rd. Nick Stevenson from down in Bournemouth at 34th. Julian Fussell, another Southborough guy, 35th. Mike Wareham from Moon Riders, 36th, beating Tom Moss, another Southborough District Wheelers rider. Tim Cummins, a little bit surprised to see Tim so far back, but I think that probably the frenetic pace on the last section by the front group probably caused that. Andrei Kajewski, the Pole living in Manchester, Ratio Racing 39th. And Andre he took a little time out of racing and he's coming back, but I'm sure he'll get back to past glory soon. Just beating the Aussie King there for 3R. And Stefan Kruger-Sands in 41st. Stefano Angelina, 42nd. Jim Ogilvie, Jim Ogilvie. Now, we talk about some of the good promoters on RGT, and we've mentioned Simon Miller and his Friday Frenzy. Jim Ogilvie is your man from OTR. He's a proper star. We have to hand it to Jim. The OTR events are fantastic. Look out for those on RGT. Peter Dickerson at 44th. Great finish, Peter. Peter riding for my team, West London. Beating Ian Hepburn. Ellen Lockett, I'm delighted for you, Ellen. 46th, that's a good result. Just pipping another one of the OTR stars, Gordon Jackson, Pele from New Zealand, NZ Bro, and who we got? Alberto Facino. Jan Hendrik Visser, just say the last minute addition to the Team Sands. Peter Kennedy has just beaten Danny Staines, so that's Team Cameron, and then it's Team Sands. Mike Adey from up Milton Keynes, 53rd. Mike will get better results than that during the series. Great rider, great to have him back. Rob Dullymore for the NZ Bro, just beating David Buckley, who helps me with stats, probably still will. Russ Cook is Southborough District Wheelers again, 56th. Pippin Judith Newton, riding for my team, the West London BR team. Just a little teammate, well, it's from the men's team. Anyway, Rafa Nunes, 200k in his legs, although we have to say that Ellen Lockett at 46th came on the same ride with us on Saturday. Harry Schmitz, absolute Facebook star, 59th. Great to have you in there, Harry, from the Netherlands, as ever. Stuart Lynch from NZ again. And Stuart Lynch is 7 times world champion adventure racer. Just bear that in mind. Stuart Lynch, 7 times world champion adventure racer. Absolutely fantastic, Stuart. Glad to have you as part of this. It sounds like French cooking to me, and it's always remember from the Fast Show the old gag about dinner jazz. You'd have to watch the programme to understand that one. From France, finishing 61st, beating Mike Fishpool, Matt Caruso, Mark R. Fawcett, Jacques Silva, Robert Ruzimek at 66, Miguel Silva, Portuguese at 67, Tony Sinnott, Pippin Mike Buckhurst from California, who got 69 slot, ahead of Roy Lemons, Alakan Yurita Avita, 71st, Marcin Skudrek for Moon Riders. I think there's something, there's a reason for that. Marcin usually finishes higher than us, so I'm not sure what that's about. But I'm sure he'll be back to form in the next race. Despax Christophe at 73, just beating Cara Bono from the USA. Well done, Cara, and great to have you back in the race. Just picking my teammate Samir Doshi, who rode last night in the Moon Riders event. Wendy Wonderwheels at 76, Rob Gilmore 77th, and Justin Roy at 78th, beating Colin Stewart, Coco Maisie. Such a name, I love it. Coco Maisie, I'll say it again. Ian Hurst from 3R at 80th, Daniel Gaunt at 81st, and we're going to see Lisa, my long-time friend from Greenford in West London, coming in. Well done, Lisa, and thanks very much for turning up. I mean, I know she had a bit of trepidation about whether or not she'd enter. As I say, she's been off the bike for a year or so and didn't really concentrate on cycling, and is trying to get back. She came out for a couple of riders with us recently and is definitely getting better. I thought she might have a go at one of these. And as I say, she was a pioneer. The very first races I ever ran on RGT, she rode in them. So she's a very special person, and We're going to watch her just finish 240 metres of this road, which she'll know well, Raisbury Village. She rides in this area, of course. All the courses in this series are built around local roads just outside West London mainly. Now, the results should be up on the West London cycling.com website as Lisa comes home. They won't be absolutely accurate straight away. I'm going to have to go through and fill in some other data that I'm going to pick up from the riders' results. So you can go and have a look in a few minutes' time at www.westlondoncycling.com. There is a tab at the top that says latest standings. They won't be quite right, but if you look again in a couple of hours, I should have had the chance to correct them. Well, another fantastic race, and Miles Askew, what a start. That was such a finish. Poor old Rasmus having to settle for second. But he got 99 points and the series is up and underway. Let's go and process those results and look forward. We'll be back in a fortnight's time. In the meantime, don't forget there's plenty going on RGT and ZMS, not least the Friday Frenzy, Simon Miller's event this Friday. We'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks very much for watching West London VR Racing on ZMS. Bye.